So Trey,
Yeah.
question of the day is: do you think it's better to be an introvert or extrovert?
Topic for the day. Introvert or extrovert. To be honest with you, I don't really think there's anything bad with being either. Um, it really comes down to personality type.
So you don't think one is more beneficial than the other?
Nah, cause like I think it's beneficial to be like more quiet sometimes and reserved, cause it helps you be observant and you kind of pay attention to your surroundings. And they always say, the less you speak, the smarter you look, which I do
Fair.
believe is the truth. However, being outgoing and being able to speak to anybody, I think, is also quite important.
Facts.
Being able to just have the confidence to go up to people and just like introduce yourselves, or being able just to take control of a situation. Usually extroverts are the type to do that, especially if it comes to like group outings and such. If I had to choose to be one, I would choose to be extroverted, but I think I would still like to have introverted tendencies.
I'm gonna have to somewhat agree with you in terms of that last statement. I definitely think both have their pros, but if I had to pick one, I would pick extrovert. Just based off the fact that when you're extroverted, you're more likely to talk to more people, which means you're also more likely to make more connections.
Yep.
You might make more opportunities for yourself
Yep.
instead of you kind of just being reserved.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, there's nothing wrong with being reserved. There's nothing wrong with observing your surroundings. But I think also just being extrovert, you can get yourself in a very interesting situation.
Yes, you can. Yeah.
That if you were introverted, you might not
wouldn't
speak
happen.
up or you might not actually go for it
Mm-hmm.
compared to like being extrovert.
I would have to agree. I think what you want is like a happy balance, though. Ideally, so
Yeah,
you
I
want
guess
you
so.
want you want some extrovert in yourself, but also being able to be okay being alone and just kind of chilling like an introvert would. So I feel a lot of introverts are perfectly fine hanging out by themselves.
Oh, of course.
They quite relish in that. They're like, listen, I can hang out with people, and for some introverts, it gives them like social anxiety to hang out with people, so they really don't do it. But for some introverts, they can go out and of course hang out with just others,
Yeah.
but they also kind of like hanging out by themselves. I know extroverts who can't handle hanging out by
Like being
themselves. They
alone
need to be with other
people.
people, because they kind of like feed off.
They
that
feed
energy.
off of that. They feed off of the energy.
Exactly. I think it's good to have both. I think it's good to be able to go out there, socialize, feed off the energy of people, but also bring energy into a situation. But at the same time, pull back and just be to yourself a little bit. Maybe even if you're with a group of people, just being the more quiet one in the group and just kind of like letting someone else kind of like have the,
Have the stage in a way.
essentially, yes.
Do you think you're more of an introvert or extrovert?
I think I'm naturally an introvert who made myself into an extrovert. Because I wasn't, I guess, more as a kid, but I feel like all kids are kind of like extroverted. We just want to talk, or at least on
I
average.
feel like a lot of kids are extroverted.
Yeah, and then you go through this stage throughout middle school and such where you kind of gain. You either fall into the one category
Introvert or
of
extrovert.
exactly,
Yeah. It
exactly.
changes a little bit.
Yeah, so I started off extroverted, became more introverted, and then as I've grown into my own, that extroverted side once again has kind of come out. So I'm more introverted, but I've made myself into an extrovert to where I know I can talk to anybody, I can get along with anybody, I can really feed off people's energy and vice versa. But I do appreciate my own time. Like even with me and you, we hang out a decent amount, but like I notice there are certain days where like I don't see you, and vice versa.
Facts,
Like
yeah,
we
facts.
just kind of like hang out by ourselves, and that's perfectly fine. How about you?
I'm actually quite similar to you. I definitely believe 100% I'm more of an introvert than an extrovert. I feel like kind of like just as kids, you're always going to be a little bit more of an extrovert because everything's so new to
Everything's
you.
so new. Yeah. You're just interested in all stuff.
But as I got older, I definitely got more, I ain't going to say closed off, but definitely more like just introverted.
Just to yourself, a little bit reserved.
No problem being alone, no problem. It wasn't until I got to college where I realized kind of like the benefits of being an extrovert and being able to talk to people. That's how you make friends. That's how you make connections.
Yep.
That's how you put yourself out there.
Yep.
So once college came, I feel like I really made myself into an extrovert. And now I feel like I have a balance of both.
Yeah.
There are times where I go out and I'm very outgoing, talking to everybody, smiling, making jokes. And then there are times where even when I'm out with people, I'm just more reserved, a little bit more quiet, a little bit more observant.
Is it the type of thing where you have to be in the mood, or you can turn it on and off? So like even when you
A
don't
little,
want to be an extrovert, you can still be one. Like
yeah,
I
I
ain't
think I
trying to feel it
can.
right now, but like I can still talk to you if I want to.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Obviously, I think feeling plays a role into it, but like, if I know I need to be extroverted or it's like, yo, it's probably beneficial for me to, then I would just, you know what I mean?
For the circumstance.
For the circumstance, exactly.
Understood. All right, fair enough.